Welcome back, viewers. We were going to a break, and just before the break, my question was to Mohammed Al Hussein from Simple and Smart.
Yep.
Is why would someone go to brokers as opposed to doing their own policy online? You know, there's a lot of information out there, a lot of brokers out there, a lot of insurance companies out there online. You can always do it yourself, can't you?
Of course you can. Of course you can. Nowadays, everybody can jump onto the computer and type in what you require on Google, and it'll bring up different type of companies. The uniqueness that we provide at Simple and Smart is, first of all, is we actually underwriters, and we underwrite different schemes which are not available online, as well as other brokers out there. There's plenty of brokers that have different types of schemes. Now, the schemes are specifically designed at a set target of customers. Now, this is what we do. So we underwrite. We have a variety of different schemes for restaurant owners, takeaway owners, to property owners, to fleet owners, etc. We also provide different bilingual options to customers. So, end of the day, Mr. Mia, usually goes to his son or his daughter to go online and do it for him. The son and daughter may not know the business as well as Mr. Mia does. So Mr. Mia can have the confidence of calling myself or my team and saying, look, this is my business, I've had it for 25 years, etc., etc. And we can liaise, understand, and provide him with probably the correct and the right quote, rather than going online and it gives you a set question.
I do understand. What about going online? I mean, a lot of people, I feel, is not putting the exact information, is it? Or
well,
is that something?
Again, you've got a very valid point in the sense that if you go online, because of the way the questions are set, sometimes you feel inclined or in the position to answer the questions best fit for the question asked. However, that's wrong, because if you miss out key questions and not sometimes give the truth, you can actually invalidate your insurance. And again, comes the question of not get paid out in an event of a claim.
Okay, okay. Actually, a while back, looking at the statistics on people doing insurance policies online, it's very poor that they're being it's very poor in regards to being paid out, because a lot of policies ain't valid because of the information they put in.
Ultimately, you, as a broker, it's our professional duty to make sure that the information that we collate from yourself is correct, and then the information that we pass on to the insurer, or i.e. our underwriting department, is the same information that we collected from yourself. So, in that sense, we've eliminated the fact of that you don't know, or your knowledge is quite weak in the sense. So we are professional in that sense, and we will make sure that we ask the questions to ascertain the right answers and to get all the information off you.
Okay. Am I right in saying that by going online, you're actually taking a product which is non-advised, and by going through you're taking a product which is more advised? So there is a protection element of the policy as well, isn't it?
That's correct. Yes, there is. We are qualified, and also in the qualified and educated in the sense that we can advise you on the product. If you go online, the online portal, as anything, is designed for you to fill it in, and you are making the decision from A to Z. We are going to help you as a broker make the decision, choose the product, liaise with you on the price, so you are not on your own doing the whole thing.
So you're doing the fact finding
Exactly,
in terms of
yes.
the business and any type of business,
any type of business.
restaurant or anything.
Let me just interrupt there. I mean, when I've walked across our insurance department, I've seen and I've actually heard, people saying to Mr. Hussein here that, well, what if I was to say, let's say my building is worth £5 million, and I'll say, well, what if I was to say it's £3 million? Will that bring the price cheaper? Yes, it may bring the price cheaper, but however, you're under-insuring your building, and in that effect, you're not actually insured. It's invalidating your policy. And that's where the likes of where Mr. Hussein comes in, our insurance department comes in, and we can advise on that, because the normal layman will not know this. I mean, because as I don't work in the insurance sector, but yes, it's part of our business, I know bits and bobs about the insurance. And this is what I've picked up. If I wasn't involved in Simple and Smart Group of Business, I wouldn't have known this. And if I was to do it online, I would say, well, do you know what? I could save myself a couple £100 a year or £500. I'll just go online. My building's worth X. I'll put it worth much less, and in effect I'm putting money in my pocket. But what I might not even what I don't realise is, hold on a second, I'm invalidating my policy here. And this is where the effect of where brokers come in, where they can give the professional expert advice. Again, we only go on the information, what the client pass on to us.
Okay, yeah.
But we ask the question again.
Yeah, so making sure the product, the insurance cover is properly adequate for the client.
That's
okay,
correct.
Yeah. Another question, what business insurance options are available to businesses?
Well, thankfully there's a lot, really. So I'll abbreviate in some of them, because anything that's insurable for businesses, from any business, from a self-employed sole trader to a blue chip company, there's always insurance available. So just to keep it a bit short and brief, abbreviated, in the sense that most important and the simple ones is commercial building insurance for a business, and also known as business asset insurance, which is also known as business contents insurance.
Contents, okay.
Contents insurance, which is also your fixtures and fittings, as well as also if you're a tenant's improvement. So a business, you may own the building, but you've improved the building. You've installed the canopies, you installed the fixtures, certain fittings in there that cannot be moved if the building was tilted upside down. So that's known as a tenant's improvement.
Okay.
And the fixtures and fittings is actually known as your chairs, tables, anything that can be, if the building was to be flipped, that will fall off. That's known as fixtures and fittings.
Oh, so tenant contents means something that you can't actually go away and take it with you.
Tenant's improvement.
Tenant's improvement.
That's
okay.
correct.
And contents is anything
That's
that
if
is
you
not
flip
really fixed.
That's correct. Yes, like your cutlery, chairs, tables, etc. that can fall over. Those are known as the fixtures and fittings in that sense. Also, you have what are again important areas of that is your public liability, your employer's liability, and if you're not primary restaurants, if we were to go towards a professional service such as ourselves, we would also need what's called a professional indemnity insurance.
Solicitors.
That's correct. Solicitors, accountants, estate agents.
Recruitment consultants. Okay,
yes.
yeah, all right. They need professional
That's
indemnity
correct.
because they're advising.
Going back on your point of advising, where we are an advised, where you can have non-advice and advice. Non-advice is where you're doing it yourself. There is no professional indemnity involved in that. Whereas if we are advising, this insurance policy protects us.
Okay.
And I can assure you it's very rigorous and very scrutinized in the sense that they make sure that we give the advice that is the correct advice.
Okay.
And that's available.
So it's like a professional indemnity is like he's giving you an advice, and you can look back and you see that he's giving you the wrong advice.
That's correct.
And then if you can prove that, then you can claim on his policy for
That's correct.
your loss.
That's correct.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Okay.
So he's insuring ourselves.
Okay.
Yeah.
And employers' liability is another one. What other?
Employer liability is one, public liability is other, but obviously employer liability is also.
Employers' liability and public liability. What is public liability, anyhow?
Public liability is what it is for the public. If you use a restaurant industry, for example, if a customer was to walk through your door, okay, and the moment they walk through the door, you are legally, to an extent, legally obliged to make sure that they're safe and their rights are in place.
That is legally, yeah.
That is also legally, but again, it's if a customer was to slip, trip and fall, okay, they would claim against your public liability. If they were to, for example, hit their head against something, again, it's all about public liability. It's primarily for the public because you are public-facing business. That's what it is. The employer's liability is actually, certain ways, not understood in the sense that it's for your employees. Whilst they're employed by yourself, okay, they have a right to be safe and secure and working in an environment where their health isn't an issue. So if they were to cut the hands, cut the fingers, and they're still not at work, they can potentially claim against the employer's liability. Okay. Also, there is another element of employer's liability whereby every time you do an insurance policy, you have to give them, the broker, the insurer, a employer reference number now, which has become compulsory. It was being introduced slowly, but it's now become compulsory, whereby if the employee that's working for you at the present minute, due to asbestos in the building or due to any chemical or biochemical,
so
etc.
Locate.
That's correct. Yes.
Okay, yeah,
up to a certain time, for example, that the illness might occur 15 years down the line, 20 years down the line after they've worked for you. So the health and the compensation, for example, they're entitled to, has to be traced back to every single employment that they've been under. So which employment caused this in the first place, to establish that, and then obviously they're entitled to some compensation.
Okay. I have also read businesses go into bankruptcy because they didn't have the public liability insurance in place when in the event of a claim.
Yeah.
You know, they went into bankruptcy because they couldn't pay for the public liability.
Yeah, well, you see, this
correct?
is a perception that our brothers, sisters, etc. have out there, and uncles as well, is that we don't need insurance if I got a takeaway. Classic example, I'm sorry, I know I'm using that as a takeaway. There's a lot of people out there that actually believe in insurance, but just to give an example, takeaway, I don't need fixing fitting. Oh, I can replace all that in £5,000. That's my charge for my desk, etc. But ultimately, this takeaway is your livelihood. As an insurance company and as an underwriter, we are here not just to take money off you every year. We're here to actually be your business partner, in the sense that in an event where unfortunately someone's had food poisoning or someone's had fell seriously ill due to something that's cooked by the takeaway, I, as say the insurance partner for you, is going to protect you and help you and make sure that you don't go bankrupt and pay out in an event such as this. So the question comes to, do you want a business partner that's a insurance company, or do you not believe in that partner because you rather take somebody that's going to invest into your takeaway immediately? Because ultimately, you purchasing an insurance policy is also investing into your business.
So what you're saying is a public liability is really a must.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah.
Again, as you were saying, it's relating to your question. If someone was to come into a takeaway, using Ali's example here, and fall ill, and if you didn't have public liability in it and they go to sue you, then you could be paying out of your pockets and whatever assets you have, depending if you're a sole trader, limited company, etc. So again, if you've got the public liability in place, that public liability will be covered via your insurance.
That's correct.
Your insurance. So in effect, you won't be able to pay out, the insurance company will pay out.
We've got another 2 minutes to break, so we'll be going to break very shortly. Just before that, I would also like to ask you a question about tax investigation covers. You know, you can have tax investigation covers, which I don't think a lot of our people is aware of in terms of, you know, what it covers and how to protect themselves.
The tax investigation cover is actually a important policy, really, because not a lot of our brothers and a lot of the businesses are aware of it. The tax investigation cover is primarily is there to kind of pay for the cost in an, God forbid, in an event where the HMRC are, for example, investigating you. Then the time that the hourly rate that your accountant, for example, can charge you can be up to £250.
So it goes beyond your accountant, isn't it?
Oh, of course it does. It goes beyond your accountant, goes to the court, goes to solicitors.
Yeah.
But just give you a quick one. Who we kind of work with mainly is the accountant, for example. Now his cost in a tax investigation is a lot more, because the amount of time he's going to have to put aside to your business is a lot more. So to pay for his fees and to pay for the solicitor's fees, pay for the cost fees, that can go into hundreds and thousands. And that will cover you for that.
Okay, no problem. Thank you very much for that. I'll have one more question for you just after the break, and then we'll go on to Kauthar. Viewers, we're going to go to a break now, and we'll see you after the break.